Continuing from where we left yesterday, Atomic Habits by James Clear. The third step is the response. The response is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of a thought or an action. Whether a response occurs depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with this behavior. If a particular action requires more physical or mental effort than you are willing to expand, then you won't do it. Your response also depends on your ability. It sounds simple, but a habit can occur only if you are capable of doing it. If you want to dunk a basketball but can't jump high enough to reach the hoop, well, you're out of luck. Finally, the response delivers a reward. Rewards are the end goals of every habit. The cue is about noticing the reward. The craving is about wanting the reward. The response is about obtaining the reward. We chase rewards because they serve two purposes. One, they satisfy us, and two, they teach us. The first purpose of rewards is to satisfy your craving. Yes, rewards provide benefits on their own. Food and water deliver the energy you need to survive. Getting a promotion brings more money and respect. Getting in shape improves your health and your dating prospects. But the more immediate benefit is that rewards satisfy your cravings to eat or to gain status or to win approval. At least for a moment, rewards deliver contentment and relief from craving. Second, rewards teach us which actions are worth remembering in the future. Your brain is a reward detector. As you go about life, your sensory nervous system is continuously monitoring which actions satisfy your desires and delivers pleasure. Feelings of pleasure and disappointment are part of the feedback mechanism that helps your brain distinguish useful actions from useless ones. Rewards close the feedback loop and complete the habit cycle. Let me repeat that. Rewards close the feedback loop and complete the habit cycle. If a behavior is insufficient in any of the four stages, it will not become a habit. Eliminate the cue and your habit will never start. Reduce the craving and you won't experience enough motivation to act. Make the behavior difficult and you won't be able to do it. And if the reward fails to satisfy your desire, then you'll have no reason to do it again in the future. Without the first three steps, a behavior will not occur. Without all four, a behavior will not be repeated. That's the diagram of habit loop. First, cue, craving, response, and reward. Figure number 6. The four stages of habit are best described as a feedback loop. They form an endless cycle that is running every moment you are alive. This habit loop is continually scanning the environment, predicting what will happen next, trying out different responses and learning from the results. In summary, the cue triggers a craving, which motivates a response, which provides a reward, which satisfies the craving and ultimately becomes associated with the cue. Together, these four steps form a neurological feedback loop: cue, craving, response, reward. Cue, craving, response, reward that ultimately allows you to create automatic habits. This cycle is known as the habit loop. This four-step process is not something that happens occasionally, but rather it is an endless feedback loop that is running and active during every moment you are alive, even now. The brain is continually scanning the environment, predicting what will happen next, trying out different responses and learning from the results. The entire process is completed in a split second, and we use it again and again without realizing everything that has been packed into the previous moment. We can split these four steps into two phases: the problem phase and the solution phase. The problem phase includes the cue and the craving, and it is when you realize that something needs to change. The solution phase includes the response and the reward. and it is when you take action and achieve the change you desire. Problem and solution phase. All behavior is driven by the desire to solve a problem. Sometimes the problem is that you notice something good and you want to obtain it. Sometimes the problem is that you are experiencing pain and you want to relieve it. Either way, the purpose of every habit is to solve the problem you face. In the on the following page, you can see a few examples of what this looks like in real life. Imagine walking into a dark room and flipping on the light switch. You have performed this simple habit so many times that it occurs out without thinking. You proceed through all 4 stages in the fraction of a second. The urge to act strikes you without thinking. By the time we become adults, we rarely notice the habit. Notice the habits. So this is the table. It's the problem phase and the solution phase. Let's read it out. Your phone buzzes with a new text message. You want to learn the content of the message. Solution: you grab your phone and read the text. You satisfy your craving to read the message. Grabbing your phone becomes associated with the phone buzzing. Next, you are answering emails. You begin to feel stressed and overwhelmed by work. You want to feel in control. You bite your nails. You satisfy your craving to reduce stress. Biting your nails becomes associated with answering emails. You wake up. You want to feel alert. You drink a cup of coffee. You satisfy your craving to feel alert. Drinking coffee becomes associated with waking up. You smell a donut shop as you walk down the street near your office. You begin to crave a donut. You buy a donut and just eat it. You satisfy your craving to eat a donut. Buying a donut becomes associated with walking down the street near your office. You hit a stumbling block on a project at work. You feel stuck and you want to relieve your frustration. You pull out your phone and check social media. You satisfy your craving to feel relieved. Checking social media becomes associated with feeling stalled at work. You walk into a dark room. You want to be able to see. You flip the light switch. You satisfy your craving to see. Turning on the switch becomes associated with being in a dark room. By the time we become adults, we rarely notice the habits that are ones. You can think of each law as lever that influence human behavior. When the levers are in the right position, creating good habit is effortless. When they are in the wrong position, it is nearly impossible. So that's how to create good habits and how to break bad ones. It would be irresponsible for me to claim that these 4 laws are exhaustive framework for changing any human behavior, but I think they are close. As you will soon see, the 4 laws of behavior change apply to nearly every field, from sports to politics, art to medicine, comedy to management. These laws can be used no matter what challenge you are facing. There is no need for completely different strategies for each habit. Whenever you want to change your behavior, you can simply ask yourself, how can I make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying? If you have ever wondered why don't I do what I say I'm going to do? Why don't I lose weight or stop smoking or save for retirement or start that side business? Why do I say something is important but never seem to make time for it? The answer to those questions can be found somewhere in these 4 laws. The key to creating good habits and breaking bad ones is to understand these fundamental laws and how to alter them to your specifications. Every goal is doomed to fail if it goes against the grain of human nature. Your habits are shaped by the system in your life. In the chapters that follow, we will discuss these laws one by one and show how You can use them to create a system in which good habits emerge naturally and bad habits wither away. Chapter Summary. A habit is a behavior that has been repeated enough times to become automatic. The ultimate purpose of habit is to solve the problem of life with as little energy and effort as possible. Any habit can be broken down into feedback loop that involves 4 steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. The 4 laws of behavior change are a simple set of rules we can use to build better habits. They are: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying.